Okay, so I'm at work. I'm feeling like I have no energy to do both right now. This is the moment where I understood that I needed more than something normal, more than just a dreaming of it, more than discipline, even because discipline will keep you going and make you stay on track. But I needed more than that. I felt like I needed superpowers because I found myself thinking of ways to quit. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not a quitter. You can't win if you quit. Quitters, they never win, and winners never quit. So I knew, wait a minute, I already labeled myself on this journey as a winner. I already said, I'm going to get a W. We're going to get this film done. It's going to be amazing. So during these challenges, because I didn't have enough of what I thought, what I know now is systems in place for problems. So not just systems in place for things to work out. I didn't have systems in place for problems. This is called capacity. The systems that you put in place for problems come from your spiritual self, your spirit man. It's not from the logic. It's not from your regular, what you've been trained, taught, and know of and watch other people do. You also need capacity. And your business, your dreams, your money even only goes as far as the capacity that you hold, that you have. That's it. So I guess I reached a point where I was like, oh my God, what capacity do I have? How do I do this? Because I'm finding ways. I had, challenges that I didn't know how to resolve because logic wasn't giving me the answer. And I just said, okay, let me step away. Let me figure this out. I'm not going to keep revising my scenes based on limited resources. I'm not going to keep on taking things out because I have fear of not being able to deliver on it, not being able to afford it, not being able to have what I vision. I felt a battle between my vision and my reality self. Like, hey, you gonna pull that off? So anyway, so I said, let me just take a pivot, back away from everything, and realize how to reignite that flame that I had in the beginning that came from, I guess, a lot of motivation. I had read about a man who took a year to make his film because he filmed every weekend. And I just said, let me go back to the place where I was initially motivated the moment when I wanted to write this script. And it was a coffee shop. Yes, a coffee shop that is like in this antique store. It's the cutest place. And it's like, I had not been there in so long because, we started filming. But the breakthrough came in this place, this antique coffee shop. And I realized that I wasn't working anymore. I was just surviving. And I heard two other women talking in a coffee shop. One of them was training for a marathon. She was explaining to her friend that the key wasn't running faster, it was running longer. The key was something called energy management. And I was just like, okay, their conversation is interesting. The lady said, I had to stop trying to find more energy and start managing the energy that I already had. So I'm like, I'm still focused, trying to, write up my script, but not really deep in yet. I'm not going to lie. I was eavesdropping and I got interested and I became more and more interested by the moment. So I ordered another coffee so I could stay longer. Then I was like taking notes on my phone because I felt like knowledge was being just thrown at me from the side view. Like here. And I'm like, dang, that makes sense. That makes sense. Do they know what I'm going through? Same thing. So I listened and I learned. It was very, very valuable. She talked about a rabbi who explained to her about blessings, and blessings come. We have faith, we pray and everything, but she realized that blessings really shower in when the systems are in order, because God does do things in decency and order. If you don't create the systems to operate and function in a way that it's ready to receive, then how can you get past these blocks of challenges? So that night, I didn't try to finish the script. I didn't try to do anything and force inspiration. I was so excited about the new knowledge that I was learning about energy management. So I opened my journal, and it wasn't the Creative Life Journal yet, but I have been developing a system on how to do my expressive journaling from grief therapy and stuff. So I wrote down, where is my energy actually going? And what can I protect? What is the smallest true thing that I can do right now that's going to basically make me excited again? Those 3 sentences and answering that in the journal, I don't know what happened, but it sparked something. It really ignited my creativity. I was back ready, focused, and the plan that I came up with, it kind of changed my opening image, because I had already worked with my actors and learned their talents, their skills, and the level that I could take the characters on. And I added more depth to the opening image. I added backstory to one of the characters that it made him more dimensional. And I was like, dang, that one kind of conversation on managing energy made me question myself on how to find the energy that I thought I didn't have, and use what I do have to kind of figure out that problem. Instead of back to focusing on the story in that moment, I went to focusing on the problem, a contingency. What's the situation that's bothering me? I'm drained. I want to give up. I feel like a quitter. I lack motivation. All that was the issue, that no matter if I was trying to fix story problems, we still had this creative block going on. And managing my energy helped me figure out how to fix the story problems in the script and revise for resources that will work. So this was so powerful. It worked. The journaling worked, answering those questions, and it got me back on the train. The 3 things that I took from being stuck in this paralysis from finishing my film, they weren't pretty, but they worked because I faced them head on. I faced it, and I faced my truth. It wasn't nobody else. I couldn't point fingers. I can't always say I didn't have the money. Sometimes it was me. It was life happening and me dealing with life and trying to know how to manage dealing with extra creativity, and not dealing with what I'm dealing with was the block. So when we suppress what's happening to us, the situation is bothering us, and we keep moving as a busy bee, we're really functioning with dysfunction at the core, not understanding it and realizing it because we didn't address it. We did not face it, and we didn't open up opportunity to come. Where are the ideas going to flow if there's this block? We block our blessings a lot of times because of the insecurity that lies there, the thing we're dwelling on from the past. We're letting our past control and dictate the current moment and the future. But if we think from the future self, we're going to the winner. Think from a winner's perspective, not the quitter. Then we're going to have more ideas that will resolve the situation that's bothering us, as far as letting it go, facing it, finding out how we can manage that energy, and becoming forensic about where your energy is going. That is very, very important, because here's what we spend 2 hours sometimes doing something that costs us 5 energy units, or 2 hours doing something that costs you 40 energy units. We're not understanding. All we have to do is manage that energy. They're not the same, 5 and 40. So you have a choice. You can manage where you put the energy of worry. You can manage where you put the energy of feeling like you failed. So I started tracking my energy for 1 week. I wrote down everything, how I felt depleted, what made me feel depleted, how long it took, how much it cost. And I discovered something. I was scrolling through certain social media for 20 minutes in bed before sleep. I also watched a lot of things that subconsciously discouraged me. And I was like, wait a minute. I'm lack because I'm too relaxed doing this, but in a relaxed mindset that makes me think against of what I already know. So when I, decided to make a change and journal about what I was going through, even though I felt a guilt because I wasn't working on the revision, like I'm over here journaling me, the life of me. It was really powerful, and that I became stronger in my fear blocking. I became stronger in when contingencies come during this process of producing, I'm ready for them because I'm going to have a backup plan. I'm going to manage when that I'm going to be sad about it. I'm going to control when I'll take in the negative. I'm going to control when a location calls at the last minute. One time we were on our way to the location, the whole crew, and the location manager let us know that it's canceled for the day. We can't shoot there. And so the whole crew had blocked their time out to come spend this day shooting. Mind you, I have a lot of favors. I have a lot of people who sacrifice other things to invest their creativity into this thing. So now I'm dealing with guilt, but if that was to happen again today, I'm different because I understand where to put the energy. I don't have to let that moment consume me and for the whole day dwell on the fact that that happened. I don't have to carry it to sleep. It happened. I have a contingency already written because now moving forward, I plan for certain things to not work out. And if it doesn't, I have a backup plan. So I research before moving forward. With the regular plan, I research and I do a contingency plan. My contingency plans look just like the regular shoot plan. So I meet with my son and he has a shot list. We have a shot list meeting. And even in his shot list meeting, I always kind of put together a contingency. So if we can't get that shot, if we don't get all the shots, this is what we're going to do. Now, this is what most productions do. They know to do this because this is the only way to get to a finish line. You have to prep and prepare for what could go wrong, because what can go wrong, it will. So the energy equation management is just as important as your calendar, your breakdowns, your daily schedule and routines, the systems and routines you create for your life. The energy equation is a whole system that will change your life if you actually apply it. So here's your homework to do an energy audit. That's what your homework is. At the end of each day, write down your top 5 energy drains. Like, what were the things that left you feeling empty? The conversations that exhaust you? The obligations that feel like wearing a weighted vest? Write that down in your journal. And if you don't have a creative life journal, it's okay. Write it down in your journal. Write it down in a planner, a notebook. Once you can see where your energy is hemorrhaging, you can start making different choices. And you can start saying no. You can start protecting your most valuable resource, your energy. You can actually plan when to be sad, when I'm going to allow something to bother me. I know, my friend called me with a problem. I'll deal with that problem at 5:00 Tuesday because right now I can't give her the best advice because I'm dealing with this. Start to manage and let me know what happened when you did this. Only because this one practice will change how you see things, how you realize things, your realizations. And if you practice 15 hours a month doing this, it'll bring out more creative energy. Not because of the hours, but because of the stress of relief of the emotional labor that you've been dealing with. You're not holding it no more. You have a place to decompress before you think about your projects. So don't quit. Don't quit if you haven't even started. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's great for you, but I can't just, get a journal and all my problems are fixed and fix my life. And I hear you. I understand that. But there is power in thought, scripting, and the tongue. You already know the power of the tongue. So here's what you should do. Speak your affirmations of positivity and speak how you're going to manage your energy. Take note of what drains you. It is so important to realize it, and it is so important to look at it on paper and understand this drains me. Every time I talk to Miss Glenda, she drains me even though I love her. So I'm going to decide that I'll talk to Miss Glenda right before I go swimming every Tuesday. Or I'll tell Miss Glenda, call me Tuesday at 3 and we'll talk about it when she's come running up to you and you're about to park your car. I don't know. It seems complicated and tricky, but you'll start to see what I mean. Managing your energy and how you allow the energy units to be taken from you in a day is so powerful. The energy equation is one of the costs of creativity. This is something I had no idea about before I started my journey, but now that I do, momentum is better. It helps me understand that I can work on more passion projects if I need to get them started in development. I feel inspired, motivated with fire because I don't allow the limiting beliefs and insecurities to just overwhelm me. And I realize that's not momentum, when I'm just taking on everything and then going fast. It's sprinting. Real momentum is staying connected to the projects even when I'm not actively working on it. So we're not shooting my film right now, but I am prepping and planning. And how do I have the energy to do that? Because I scheduled it. I didn't allow it to make me feel like, oh, I hope I get done this year. No, this is the year. I'm almost there and we're getting done. But during those months that I was staying stuck, it's because I did not know how to manage my energy. And I just was running all over the place doing what the surface knowledge was. Get it done. Get it done. Just go do it. Just move. Just go. But we got to take care of our spirit. Remember, that's where our capacity lives. We only can go as far as that capacity in our spirit allows us to. Because it's about how we react, respond, retaliate, feel remorse. It's about all that. So when you manage the energy, you're actually taking care of that stuff. You're actually prepping yourself to be less reactive, less irritated, less annoyed when you get these last minute, confusions and confrontations on your journey in your project. You're going to be equipped. You're going to feel stronger. And you'll have a response that is more peaceful to you. More peaceful to everyone else, of course. This train that I've been on, I really have slowed down from being such a busy bee, even though I am still busy. But I was a busy bee entertaining the wrong energy in the wrong moments while being busy. So sometimes that meant I was a procrastinator as well. So breaking systems down and understanding how to manage your own system of life and your energy. You can create what I'll call micro momentum practice in your journal. Journaling is just one micro management system that can help you connect to your creative project because you're dismantling limiting beliefs, you're plotting, you're planning, you have a place to go, you have an actual home for the energy and things that you don't want to talk about to people. Sometimes you don't want to be, frustrated and complain. Because if you complain about something that you've been blessed, an investor gave you money to make a project and develop your business, but then you come across challenges. You don't always want to call somebody and complain about the challenges, because they're looking at you like, hello, you are blessed. Somebody invested in you. They believe in you. If you don't quit worrying about all that and go ahead on and be happy. And that's hard, because you're not ungrateful. You're just in the moment, in the emotion of what just happened during the journey of your startup business, or creating this business, or whatever it is. So and reading will help as well. Reading is a good prescription for anxiety. A lot of people might know or might not know this, but I discovered it whenever those moments came up and I didn't journal, because I would just get on my phone. I would just read something that takes me away from the regular world. Not scrolling, not mindless entertainment, reading. And I chose to read knowledge so that I can, those 5 minutes, 3 minutes, whether I'm waiting for an oil change or a car wash, 5 minutes of reading something knowledgeable that can teach me something is way more powerful. So that's an energy management system. I chose to, all my waiting periods, if I'm in a hospital, I read inspirational things. I'll read a scripture. I'll read a story about something that inspires me. But the key is I manage that energy. I have anxiety. So instead of sitting here, because the thing is, now there is some mindless entertainment that helps with your anxiety and worries, frustration. But the knowledge of reading or listening to a podcast of informational content, it actually feeds your insecurity and makes you could be listening to how to fix a car, and that's not even your problem. But for some reason, after listening to a podcast teaching you something, now you have an amazing abundance of confidence. You just learned about how to fix a car, but you about to go be like, oh, I can finish a film. Oh, I can do a $2 million movie now. I can do a $20 million film. You have built muscle because you made that one amazing choice. You managed your energy. You didn't allow it to be invaded by the wrong energies during the weak phase, the weak moments. So hearing that lady at the coffee shop tell the other lady, I just gotta manage the energy that I do have. It was so powerful to me, because she only can manage what she has. Now, managing what you have make you actually receive more to do more. So when we chip off one step at a time and take care of ourselves on more than a surface level, more than just what the world tells us, sometimes we have to go deep and address what's really bothering us. So that's why I am adamant about that step in the creative life journal, the situation that's bothering you. Because I know that in our journal experiment, when we unclutter our mind and compartmentalize our problems, we're going to ignite creativity that is unstoppable. And we're going to have visions, ideas. You're going to have so many ideas flowing and growing. And it's kind of life-changing, because you're going to birth those ideas. You're going to birth some of that, and it's just going to take off. And you'll be the person who is resilient and ready to create and build. Building systems is how God flows in your prosperity, because there is a place for him to put it. There's an infrastructure. There is a actual order going on. And that's what it takes. It won't happen during lackluster. It will not happen during stagnation. You will get ideas, but you won't get energy of momentum. And that's the key. That's what I wanted to get y'all to know today. So I hope you enjoyed this message and you understand energy management a little bit better, or you might have already known about it. I will talk about it again and again and again and again on some episodes, only because it's one of the 3 hidden costs of creativity, which is one of my series on this channel. In order for us to be creative and have that creative life, we have to identify the cost of creativity and be aware of them so we know how to embark on our creative journey. So until then, if you like this video, please like. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I will continue to share. I'm going to share my cost of creativity journey and finishing my indie film. I'm going to give you guys also a series that help you go through the journal. I will be going through it with you. And that's it. I thank you. Thanks for tuning in with me, guys. Again, I love you, creative family. I know all of y'all. I'm still building, so it's not millions of subscribers or hundreds or even 1,000 yet. It's just y'all, and I know all of you. So thank you. I appreciate y'all, and I'll see you in the next video.